Alright guys, so it's been a while since I made a video like this. Manor Lords is capable of so many interesting things that people have been sharing on Reddit, on Discord, towns that they've been building, bugs that they've been finding, features that are kind of underlying that nobody noticed, and massive battles. I mean, people have been making mods that enable huge, almost total war style and scaled battles, which is quite cool. So that's what we're going to do today. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. All the images that people have been sharing, players have been experiencing over on the Reddit and the Discord that just show Manor Lords is so much more interesting than we think. The bugs and, of course, interchangeable with the word features that you can experience, the huge towns that you can build, what's possible there, and of course the massive battles and all the engine pushing that people are doing through mods as well. So let's dive straight in. First off, city walls aren't implemented into the game just yet, but that is not stopping players at all. People are being very creative with how you can use the manor planning tool in a battlefield scenario in adding walls into small sections of their cities, and visually it looks absolutely amazing. These are some examples of where players have been very successful with it. The buildings inside actually work as well, and that is just such a cool, amazing thing. Next, we have a town that is 2,384 people population and 1,570 houses, guys. Just think about how much time this player must have spent building all of these houses and getting all these people into this town in a way that actually works, right? And functions. It generates money. He's got enough food production to feed them all. Like, that is just such an impressive thing to see. And it doesn't, a lot of these towns are very much like grid lines and huge structured towns, but this is very organic looking as well. I quite like the way it looks. And not only that, but the player has been very creative in his marketplaces and road placements as well. So this is just a classic example of what a marketplace looks like, but he's actually made a marketplace that goes all through the town in a single road as well, which is really, really cool. Visually immersive, really kind of medieval-esque. I love the look of this. He's got at the end of this marketplace his keep, his fort, which looks really cool as well. Beautiful little perspective on the town. So that's this town. Next, we've got a player who's developed a region to over 3,000 in population, but in a much less natural and organic way. It's very efficient. You've got huge marketplaces in the middle. You've got a berry patch on the side there inside the town. You've got grid lines and very structured, layouts of houses and vegetable plots, apple orchards, etc. And it all works. I mean, this is a population of over 3,000, but he's got about 400 houses less than the previous town we just saw. So it's all min-maxing production and consumption. He's got probably other towns dotted around, feeding into the population to make sure it's all fed and working properly. It may look a bit ugly, maybe not my cup of tea, but clearly it does work. And then next, we've got another massively suburban hell that I found on Reddit. This player developed almost a 700 house city here, which is just rows and rows of houses. He's, again, min-maxed a lot of the efficiencies here. Granaries all bunched up, all full of people delivering, picking up, and getting to the marketplace for food distribution to his town. And, up close and personal, it looks quite nice. But again, like, it's just got this massive hellish landscape of suburban kind of living in Manor Lords. Just to balance this out a little bit, I found a few more kind of beautiful towns. This one is a really nice forest town that this player has developed. Church on a cliff, single street marketplace going all the way through up to the keep again, like the first town that we looked at, and it just looks really, really nice. He's also, one of my favorite things about this town is he's kind of added in patches of flax into the kind of street going down the middle as well, which just adds a bit more kind of beauty that I really like. And then finally, I found this nice, cool circular town. If you never tried a circular town in Manor Lords, highly recommend it. Beautiful, beautiful little town to play around with. And then next, Manor Lords is not a Total War game, but people have been experimenting and trying to push the boundaries of what's possible in the game. This is a 400, I think, soldier army. You've got someone who had to fight a baron's army that was quite broken. Hundreds and hundreds of individual soldiers here, which is quite impossible to fight. And he was posting on Reddit to ask, how do I beat this? Are people experiencing this as well? I think this was a broken feature a few months ago. Other people are actually expanding the scope through mods. So this is a player here who, built a massive army. He's got a Baron's army approaching him. He got into formations. He got into a massive, huge tussle with the Baron here, like you can see, and lots more units entering the battle as well into the battlefield. And it just looks absolutely amazing. It just gives you a sense, essentially, for how close to total war the battles could be if more and more could be implemented, if more formations, more types of units. It just looks visually really cool as well, very organic and historically authentic. There's just so much potential here, essentially. And then finally, we've got bugs and features that people have been finding a little bit, some of these under the hood that I had no idea about. Like if you look at a bird up close and personal, that's what they look like. If you look at a stone church being constructed, there's a section that has a little kind of morbid crypt full of bones, which is kind of historically accurate. And then if you've got kind of loggers trying to fell a tree, sometimes those trees can elongate a little bit and almost fall on a building. I don't know actually what happens if they do, but that's kind of funny as well. Some Redditor found a Harry Potter, as he likes to call it, a trader, I think, without his horse and carts. That kind of looks like it's Harry Potter on a broom. You've got, with the latest update, you can have the Manor Lord become Jesus Lord as he walks on water with the pond now introduced. I'm sure that'll get ironed out soon as well. This guy was essentially building a building. I don't know how or why, but all of his population gathered with all the materials they need to build the building as well. And they just kind of stood there, and it was a perfect photo op that I thought was quite funny as well. Good to introduce into this video. Very interesting. I'm going to try and actually emulate this in my own playthrough. You've got a plowman that decided, okay, he's in the middle of plowing, but he's going to join the fight with his plow. I'm not sure what happened to the oxen. And then you've got a player here who developed some goat pens and found that actually goats can turn into mountain goats. So that's an interesting new feature in Manor Lords, if you didn't know. And this player here experienced a sheep festation, as he calls it. Basically, sheep spread around to the rest of his town and kind of escaped as well. And then you've got a player here who is trying to play around with reshade. And actually, I might try and make my own reshade based on this. It never even occurred to me. So yeah. That's it for today, guys. I just wanted to make a very quick, funny little video going through all the kind of bugs and features that people have been experiencing over the last couple of months, the massive towns that people are building as well. Manor Lords has so much potential in this aspect. It is primarily a city builder. So the different types of towns that you can build, circular, grid, hellish landscapes, of course, that are suburban, but also kind of natural and organic and beautiful looking as well. There's so much that can be done here. And hopefully in this aspect, a lot more potential is added as well, especially with new maps. I believe Slavic Magic recently hinted at new maps being developed and released very soon as well. So yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, give it a like, drop any thoughts or questions in the comments section below, and subscribe to the channel for more just like this. And if you're experiencing bugs and features, if you're building massive towns as well and you want to be on this video, let me know. Send me an email, drop into my Discord, and send me a DM, and I will. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.